Lust, sex, cheating, demons? Sounds like Catherine. We're reviewing Catherine full body for the Nintendo Switch. And also this review can cover the PlayStation 4 version as well, because that came out, previously, and now it's on the Switch. So, it's on both platforms, and it's an upgraded version of the original Catherine from 2011. So if you played it in and loved it, you're probably going to love it again with all the new features, especially the new path that you can go down with the third Catherine, known as Ren. So it's really, really cool. But with that being said, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Sega and Outlist for sending me a review copy to be able to cover this game. I'm really excited for it. And other than that, I'm going to be diving into it, how it looks graphically, the story, the gameplay, whether it's, something you need or not. Of course, the whole you need this is subjective. That's just, it's a marketing thing. But anyway, I'm Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every week on twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova, so catch me over there. Primarily streaming Final Fantasy 14, but I stream other things as well occasionally. And with that being said, if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and hop into this review of Catherine Full Body. Catherine Full Body follows the day-to-day life of Vincent Brooks, a 32-year-old programmer that's currently in a bit of a midlife crisis, dealing with the pressures of his girlfriend Catherine, who wants marriage and a baby, and the aforementioned title character, also named Catherine, who is the complete opposite of his girlfriend in every way, shape, and form. And after a night of lust with Catherine, Vincent's life spirals into chaos. So essentially, that's a love triangle, right? Or is that more of a love square, as Full Body introduces a new character in route in the third love interest being Catherine with a Q, who's often known as Ren, which further complicates things for Vincent's life. Who will Vincent ultimately choose? That's up to you and what choices you make to land one of the 13 endings. Now, the gameplay of Catherine Full Body takes place both during the day and in Vincent's nightmares. During the day, you will interact with a variety of characters, as well as replying to text messages, which affects the morality system that's in place, which helps determine the ending that you will receive. Your interactions have multiple choices that can, they can have some of the most hilarious and character building aspects of the story. The core of the gameplay happens in Vincent's nightmares, as each night you have to bravely scale up a nightmare structure and move various boxes while avoiding hazards and more. You have to manipulate boxes and place them in certain ways in order to climb up them to get to the end of the nightmare sections. And this seems like a simple task, however it is not, as you have to contend with boxes that disintegrate, angry sheep constructs, and scary looking beasts that climb up the structure to have you meet your demise. What's new in Full Body Edition is the safety mode, which allows you to skip all the puzzle sections of the nightmares and allows you to just focus on the story instead of gameplay. If that's your cup of tea, some folks, like the Cuphead guy who couldn't beat the tutorial level, might enjoy safety mode. There's also a remix mode that brings in newer puzzle boxes that make scaling the nightmare structures a test of endurance, to say the least. And in that case, not for me. But some of y'all might like this. You can play with a friend in the Coliseum mode, where you both race to the top of the structures. And if you want even more of a challenge, then you can play the Babel mode, where you have to deal with randomly generated structures, which can be climbed cooperatively or individually if you prefer. Oh, and before I forget, there's the Persona 5 additions to the game, which have costumes for Joker, Panther, and more. And for those who don't know, Catherine is part of the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei world, part of the Amala network, or if you really want to be technical, it happens between the course of Persona 3 and Persona 5, so that's when that takes place. Graphically speaking, the presentation of the game holds up very well, even a decade after its initial release, with its quasi 3D-ish cel-shaded art style, which provides a lot of personality in the characters and in their expressions. And honestly, the art style screams Atlas, as it is the style that is often used in this Persona series. All in all, there isn't much to say here other than the fact that the game graphically looks good and holds up well to this day, you know, a decade later. Now, downsides. I don't have any. I mean, honestly, I don't. As the game runs smooth on the Switch, has no frame drops or any performance issues either, docked or in handheld mode, so there's no issues on my Nintendo Lite either. My Switch Lite, there's no issues with it on that either. So performance wise, there's no issues. But I will bring this up because this is something worth talking about, and I know a lot of modern reviewers have been making it a point to complain about the game's depiction of the Catherines and its depictions of women, and here's my opinion. I'm not a social justice warrior, nor does the depiction of how the women are offend me in any way, because I'm not like the majority of overly sensitive gamers these days, nor do I think every medium should change its creative expression to appease my opinion and my fifis of what is, in my opinion, what's socially right. Because the problem is that so many now want conformity, even when it's, you know, of cultures that are in no way similar to what is the new Western norm. So ultimately, people just need to chill out, stop pushing their agendas and being triggered by everything, because their push for censorship in our games these days to conform to what they feel is socially acceptable is honestly no different than the censorship that was forced on us in the 90s as gamers and anime enjoyers. It needs to stop, so chill the fuck out. And ultimately, it brings us to the verdict. It's an engaging story, fun story. On top of that, it's engaging and fun. It's both combined into one. So it's an engaging and fun story. Over 500 puzzles that force you to think on your toes, and a wealth of varied content to indulge yourself in, along with brand new content and new endings. Catherine Full Body is a worthy addition to the Nintendo Switch library and is a game that you need in your library. That's the review for Catherine Full Body for Nintendo Switch. Also, for PlayStation 4. And I want to give a special thank you to Sega and Atlas again for sending me a review copy of the game. It's amazing that, you know, we're getting more Atlas love on the Switch. I'm really happy about it. We got this, you know, we've got Shin Megami Tensei. Oh, actually, yeah, Shin Megami Tensei HD Nocturne coming next year. And then we've got 5 also coming next year. And then we've also already had Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which, you know, I haven't gotten a chance to really dive into it. I own it, but I haven't had the chance to hop into it. I will pretty soon. But, you know, other than that, I'm happy. I'm happy that we got these games. And, you know, I want to know, what are your opinions? Do you guys have it? Do you like it? Do you not? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going down below. And with that being said, I'm Mekel Kasanova again, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, Kasanova Podcast, and I stream on twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova, so I catch you over there. And with that being said, see y'all on the next one. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. And since you made it here, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And you can always check out mekelkasanova.com. If you want to support the content, we've got Patreon, as well as channel memberships and super chats. And with that being said, this is Mekel Kasanova. I enjoy you guys. I hope you have a great one. Mahalo, and see you next time.